Hi, beautiful people. My name is Mohammed. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time watching my video, welcome and thank you for watching. On my channel, I talk about personal finance, self-development, and other interesting topics. And on to this episode, I'm gonna be bringing a special guest. Yes, a special guest. This person talks about personal finance. She also make content. She's a content creator. So I'm gonna be talking to her to walk me through her journey and also how she's been able to build a six-figure portfolio. So if this look like a content you're interested in seeing, please just smash the like button, leave a comment, like, and all that good stuff. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get right into the video. Also, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So it's a pleasure speaking to you today.
Yeah,
So
thanks for having me on.
how have you been?
I've been very good, just here, relaxing.
It's really an honor speaking to you today because I remember my first video of you when I watched your video, right? It was about the EQ bank thing. And in my head, I was saying like, okay, when I start my YouTube, because I've been prepping for a while, right? And I was like, when I start my YouTube, I would like you to be one of my guests.
Oh,
Conversation with you, right? And then from saying that to actually not having this conversation with you right now, it's really surreal. So I really appreciate your time and thank you for coming.
pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So can you tell me about your background?
Um, Educational background or ethnicity or which kind of
Okay.
background?
Okay. So let me just okay. So for people who don't know who you are, right? So this is Reni, and Reni is a content creator. Reni makes content from personal finance to skincare routine, among other content that she create, but mostly focus on personal finance. And yeah, so just give us a brief intro about your background, like how did you get started and all.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Reni. I am a full-time content creator and I live in Toronto, Canada. And I'm Nigerian by heritage. Again, I'm based in Toronto, Canada, and I make content about financial literacy, career development, and lifestyle. So financial literacy is the main bulk of my channel, but I do have some career development videos and lifestyle. And the whole goal of my channel is to help make complex topics more simple. So any complex topic that you see, maybe it's investing, maybe it's negotiating your salary, maybe it's discovering a skincare routine, you'll find on my channel a way, I just explain it in an easy way so that everybody can understand. And I started my channel in May of 2020. And then I went full time with my channel in October of 2021. So it's been going pretty well so far. And I love what I do.
Wow. So starting 2020 and this is 2022, that's a lot of growth. How does it feel?
It feels really good. I didn't start it expecting it to get to this point, but I'm very grateful and glad that it has.
Okay, amazing. So why did you like decide to start talking about personal finance?
So I actually purchased a house in 2019. I was 22 years old and I put down a deposit for a house. And then by 2020, that house closed and I was a homeowner at 23. So I posted a picture of my keys on my Instagram page at the time. And everyone was like, wait, what? How did you buy a house at this age? How is this possible? Et cetera, et cetera. So because everyone was asking questions, I was tired of responding to every single person's question individually. So I said, how about you all just send me your questions and then I make a video or a podcast about it. And I asked people, do you want a video or do you want a podcast? And the majority of people said video. So that's how I started my YouTube channel. And again, my first videos were just about talking about the house, how I got started. And then the way that I was able to afford the house was by investing in the stock market, which I've been doing since I was 18. So because of that, people then wanted to know, how did you start investing in the stock market? So then I started making videos about that too.
Is 18. That's actually interesting. So you're like an OG.
Yeah, I know. How old am I? I'm 26 now. So 8 years of investing that I've been doing.
Wow. Was there like did your parent put you through this, or because coming from where you say you're Nigerian, right? I'm
Mhm.
also Nigerian, and coming from where we're coming from, it like my parents didn't know these informations, right? So did your parents have much influence in that?
Yes, so thankfully my parents are very financially literate, and ever since I was 4 years old, I've had a bank account. My parents have taught me about, okay, like if someone gives you money, half of it has to go in the bank, half of it you can spend. So things like that I've always been taught. And then when I turned 18, my dad helped me get a credit card for the first time, and then he also helped me open my investing account and then start investing in the stock market. So I'm very grateful for that, and they taught me everything that I know. And now the reason I'm doing this is because, again, not most parents aren't able to teach you that. So I'm trying to teach everyone in a way that's easy to understand. And I also bring my dad on the channel as well, sometimes to teach other people as well.
Wow, interesting. So since you started creating content, right? So what do you like and dislike about content creation?
What I like is the creativity and the flexibility to do whatever I want. Also, because I'm doing it full time now, I can travel anywhere in the world and make content, which is really good. So this year I've been to 5 different countries. I have 2 more that I'm going to this year, and I can work from all of those.
Can you share?
I'm going to Nigeria,
Okay.
and
And
then I'm going to the United States. So yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay. That's interesting. Because I saw that you've been to Kigali as well. How
yeah.
is
So
it out there in Kigali?
I love Kigali. I've been there 3 times now, and it's one of my favorite locations that I've been to. I travel a lot, so I've been to 34 countries so far, and yeah, Kigali is a great. Rwanda is a great place. So yeah, so
Wow.
I would say that's one of the things I really like about content creation. It's you creating whatever that you want, and you have full autonomy to do what you want. And then the thing I do dislike, sometimes the algorithms are tricky, so can't you don't know if you could make the most amazing video, but that doesn't mean it's going to do well online, right? So that's something that's a little tricky, especially if it's your full-time job. It's hard, like you want every video to do well. And then also, if I use TikTok, I have a TikTok page, and the comments that you get sometimes on TikTok are ridiculous. Like people are racist, people can be sexist, so that's something to deal with. But honestly, I just block all of them. It's not a big deal.
Speaking of the algorithm though, so how do you get through that? Like, let's say you created a content because it takes a lot of work, right? To make this content, to edit and all this stuff, right? So how do you get through the algorithm? What do you do?
Keywords, so adding in lots of keywords into my search. And then I would say the biggest thing is you promoting your video. It's one thing to post a video and just leave it there, but if you need to be constantly resharing your video and posting it on other social media platforms. So posting it on TikTok, posting it on Instagram, posting it on Facebook, WhatsApp. And like Nigerian aunties are the best for sharing people's videos, you know. They'll forward your video to everybody. So if you can post something that they like and they enjoy, your videos can do very well. At one point, I think like 60% of my traffic was coming from WhatsApp. So it's
It's
a very
like from people sharing it on WhatsApp. Wow.
exactly. Yeah. So YouTube has very detailed analytics. So you can see exactly the source of the traffic. And yeah, so many people were coming from WhatsApp. So I think that that's a way to beat the algorithm. And you need to just keep creating as well, because the more you create, one person will like your video, then they'll go binge watch all the other ones if they really like it. And don't give up, because like one of my videos I posted, I think sometime last year or early this year, and it didn't do the best. It had like a few hundred views, and now it has 50,000 views. So like imagine if I deleted it because I was unhappy with the results that I was getting. So yeah, I would say share your videos is the most important part. Market yourself.
Wow. So with this, like I feel like your channel grew very fast.
Mhm.
And with this growth, right? Like where do you see your channel in the next 5 years?
That's an interesting question. I'm not too sure. I think that because it's a content creation is a very new industry. We don't know if it'll even be around in 5 years, It's so so I'm just taking everything a day at a time, and I'm trying to create content outside of the platforms as well. So it's one like YouTube, Instagram, all these platforms are great, but you don't own anything when it comes to them, right? You post a video there, but you don't, if YouTube disappears tomorrow,
You don't own it. That's
yeah.
right.
So I'm working on things like building my mailing list, offering courses. So people are coming directly to me and paying me directly. I don't have to worry about YouTube paying me. Doing more consulting and speaking engagement. So these are things I'm focusing more on. Like content will always be there and people can watch my old content, but I'm trying to make sure that I have my own platform outside of YouTube and Instagram and all those platforms.
Wow, that's great stuff. So how does it feel to be a homeowner at 23?
I don't know. It feels good. It I don't live there. I still live with my parents. So
It's a rental property?
yes.
Okay.
So I don't know. It doesn't feel any difference. I just collect my rents each month and pay my mortgage each month. I don't really do much with it. My tenants are, I picked a family for my tenants. So they hand like they've never called me with any issues or anything. So that's really good. I think I picked very good tenants. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know what it feels.
So what was the process like acquiring the property? Was it stressful? What can you share the process you went through in acquiring the property?
So I had been investing since I was 18, as I said. And then when I turned 22, my dad was like, how's your portfolio doing? And at the time, I had bought Shopify stocks at maybe around the $200 mark. And then by the time I was showing my dad my portfolio, those stocks that were about $200 had grown to about $1,000 each. So that's a huge gain. And every 2 weeks, I would just be buying more and more and more. And I think I had like $50,000 or $60,000 just in stocks in my account
What platform were you using at this time?
to invest.
Yeah.
TD web broker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was using that, and my dad was like, "Oh, what are you doing with this money? Like, buy a house with it." And I was like, "No, it's okay. I don't need to buy a house. Like, let's just leave the money in my account because I like seeing the money in my account, right?" And my
Yeah.
dad's like, "No, you need to do something. Like the stock market's great, but real estate is like it's lasted the test of time, right? For especially in Canada, like our market is a little crazy here. So he told me to go and buy a house. We went and met with a real estate agent and he would show us around different houses. Eventually I found a pre-construction property, which means that it was not yet built, but it would be built in a year. So I had to put down $10,000. And then by the time it was built a year later, then I had to put down the rest of the $50,000. So yeah, it was honestly, it was a very easy, no stress process. I had already been working for a few years. So, and I was working at a bank. So getting a mortgage was very easy for me. Um, yeah, honestly, no issues with it. I'm very grateful for that.
Wow, that's amazing. So I'm gonna go back to the parent, like your parents, right? So how much impact did they have on your like financial habits?
I think they shaped my financial habits 100%. For example, what I said about getting a credit card. Most of my friends, we all got credit cards at 18 because when you go to university, they push those credit cards on you.
Yeah.
But the difference was that I knew how to use it, whereas my friends used it as if it was free money and then got in a lot of debt, right? So I'm super grateful that they taught me about it way before I ever needed to use a credit card. And then obviously I'm grateful for the the stock market tips that they gave me because again, most people that I know are they started maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. Whereas I started 8 years ago, and that gives me a lot more time in the market, which means that my money has had a way longer time to grow. So those are some of the habits they taught me, and I think they shaped pretty much all my financial decisions. They have shaped.
Wow. And what does financial independence mean to you?
To me, financial independence is the ability to choose to do whatever I want to do. If I want to work, I work. If I don't want to work, I don't work. So I don't think I'm at that point yet, but God willing, I'll get there. And it's basically you have the you it's like you have a work optional lifestyle. That's what it means to me.
Right.
And yeah, I'm striving for that.
And that's the reason why I created my channel, right? Just to push the message. I know there's a lot of channels out there who are talking about, bunch of channels who are talking about financial freedom, how to become financially independent and whatnot. But I just want to push the message. And when I came on YouTube to see
people here in Canada who are talking about it, you're one of the like the first names that came up, right? Like Reni is talking about this and showing people how to be more literate and whatnot. And I was just really excited.
Mm.
So yes, that's thank you. And I want to ask another question. And why did you have a podcast called Don't Go Broke Trying, right? Why did you decide to start that?
So I decided to start the podcast because there are some conversations that I feel need to be long form conversations. For YouTube videos, typically you'll get people's attention for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe. But some conversations you really want to go in depth and learn about someone's story. So I on my YouTube channel, I mostly share my story and tips I've learned and explain different topics. But I grew up with a very unique childhood where my parents, again, they taught me everything that I needed to know. So I didn't make many mistakes. Whereas
Hmm.
most people don't have that childhood. So me sharing stories about like, here's how to not go broke, but I've never been broke. That doesn't really make sense, right? So I brought on people who have gotten into $30,000 in debt, and then they're telling us how they got out of it. For example, a person I just interviewed last week was in $70,000 worth of debt, and now she is a homeowner. She's building generational wealth. She has like thousands of stocks for her daughters and her daughter and her son. So stories like that, I don't have that lived experience, so it didn't make sense for me to talk about it. But bringing on someone who does have that experience makes more sense. So that's why I started it. And long form content, again, is better on a podcast, in my opinion, because people just have to listen to it. They don't have to watch it if they don't want to.
Right, right. And what's the best financial advice you've gotten?
The best financial advice would be to pay yourself first. So my dad always taught me that it's not wise to spend after saving. Wait, you should, you should spend after you save. Yeah, you should spend after you save rather than saving after you spend. And I think a lot of people do that. They do where they spend all their money and then whatever's left at the end. The best financial advice that I have received is to pay yourself first. And basically what this means is that instead of you get your paycheck and then you spend, and then after with the little money that you have left, you decide to save. Instead, you're going to do the opposite and you're going to save first and then spend from what is left after that. And this makes sure that you have, so you are prioritizing your investments and you're prioritizing your savings. So that's exactly what I have done. And every time I get paid, for example, say $500 comes out of my paycheck and goes directly into my investing account. And that way I never even miss the money because it's already gone from my account. I don't have the time to spend the money because it's gone from my account. And it's the way that I've been able to build my my $100,000 portfolio. So yeah.
Oh, interesting. And what's the worst financial mistake you've made?
Honestly, I haven't made many mistakes, but I would say investing in something that I did not know, like that I didn't research. I invested in weed stocks. So it was just like on Twitter, people were talking a lot about like, oh, weed, it's about to be legalized in Canada. It's going to be a big
I'm
thing.
in that boat as well, right?
Yeah.
So last year I had on Wealthsimple, I invested in this company called Weed MD
Okay.
later, which is they sold it to this no, they changed the name to Entourage Corp. I don't know if you know about this company. And the stock went down so bad, and I'm still holding though, because
Yeah.
I mean,
Same
but
thing
yeah,
happened to me, except I didn't put much money. I only put in like $200. So it's not like it's not a huge mistake, but still, if I had researched, I would have known not to invest in the company that I invested in, right? So I was just following the hype on Twitter and it led to a loss in my portfolio. Not a big deal, but
did you
we
sell?
learned. No, I haven't. I just held it. It's down. So yeah.
Okay. And can you share some tips to saving money? So for people who want to know like how to save, can you share some tips in saving money?
The first thing I would do is start a budget. So see how you need to understand how much money is coming into your account each month and how much money is going out of your account each month. I think most people don't actually know. They know that they have some money left over at the end of the month, but a lot of people are actually spending more money each month than they make each month, and then they're living off their credit cards in order to get by. So my suggestion would be to start a budget so you can see everything going in and everything going out, and that way you can say, okay, each month I can afford to save $100 or $200 or $300. That's the first step. The next thing I would say is to automate your savings if you can. So again, just like I do, if your paycheck comes in, you want to automate that money from your checking account to your savings account automatically. You don't want to have to be moving the money manually to your savings account. You want it to do it by itself. And then the third thing I would say is to put your money in a high interest savings account if you can. So a lot of people keep their money in a regular savings account, but you're not really getting much interest on that. So the more interest you can get, the better. EQ Bank, Neo Financial, Simply, all these banks have higher interest rates than the big five banks. So if you're in Canada, look outside of the big five banks because there are way better options. And a lot of them are no fees. So you're not paying any money to hold your money there.
Right. Wow, that's very good that you said that. Like, because I also found out about EQ Bank from you. So that's good that you said that. So I'm just gonna, this is not related to anything saving, but what's your thought? I just want to know what's your thoughts on crypto?
For crypto, I own a bit of crypto, but it's not my, it's a very small, it's like less than 1% of my portfolio. So I am in it because I think there are use cases for the future, but it's a very complicated space to understand. And because of that, I don't put a lot of money in it because I don't care to, I like to invest in things that I understand fully. So I own the big coins like Ethereum, Bitcoin, but the smaller ones I stay away from. And yeah, those are my thoughts. I don't really have many thoughts on crypto.
Okay. And my last question to you is, what's your advice for any young male or female who don't have their financial like goals together and want to get themselves together financially? What's your advice for them?
I would say seek help from other people. A lot of people think we have to do these things alone, like we have to go through life alone, but you really don't have to. There are so many resources. There are people like me who make content about this, and so many people DM me and reach out to me on a daily basis, and I help them with whatever problem there is. So if you're currently struggling, reach out to somebody who is knowledgeable about financial literacy, and they can help guide you in the right direction. Obviously, watch their content first because a lot of your questions may already be answered on their YouTube channel. So watch their content first. Then if you have additional questions, message them. And again, doing that budget will help. I think for any financial issue that you're having, doing a budget typically helps because it allows you to see what's coming into your account and what's going out, and then you can make this informed decisions from there. But if you don't know even what's coming in and what's coming out, it's pretty hard to make good decisions.
Wow. Well, Reni, thank you so much for your time. It's really an honor talking to you. I hope people are able to learn something, a thing or two from this conversation. You dropped a lot of gems, so it's really an honor talking to you. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
That's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and also find it very educative. Please don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to see my video as soon as I upload it on YouTube. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.